Chapter 1: Your role as a founder and the role of your board. One of the biggest limitations I've seen among founders and non-profit leaders is misunderstanding their role and that of their board. The sad reality is that they think they know and understand their roles, and this conviction blocks the opportunity to reflect on how their understanding is affecting their board and organization. A statement that reaffirms this misunderstanding is, "We are a 100% volunteer board," or "We are a working board." While the statement in itself isn't bad, most founders say this when they mean the board serves as volunteer worker of the organization, handling day-to-day operations. I remember speaking to a founder in downtown Texas who wanted to find board members who could go into the community to educate residents about the mission. I told her, "You don't need a board member, you need a volunteer." Because of this misunderstanding, many founders put themselves and their board members under unnecessary pressure, leading to burnout. Over my 10 years of experience, I've seen founders delegate tasks like social media management, office administration to board members. I've seen them treat board members like volunteers they need to manage. I've seen founders take on every role, serving as the chief everything officer, because they felt the organization they started was theirs. I was once that founder myself. This is a real disaster, and it is the foundation of most board and organizational challenges. The sad reality is that every organization is a reflection of its leaders. When the founder does not understand their role, the board will most likely not understand theirs. And when the board does not understand its role, the organization will most likely not understand its role within the community. This is why organizations fail. The core misconception: I own this organization. The chief misconception is the thinking that you, the founder, own the organization. This idea leads so many down the path of what's called the founder syndrome or foundaritis, where founders struggle to relinquish control, hindering the organization's progress. Many founders don't even know they suffer from this syndrome. Its symptoms include resisting delegation and fearing failure if others are in charge, refusing to embrace new ideas, building the organizations around their personality, wanting to have family members on the board to keep control, clinging to control and micromanaging board members and staff, undermining the works of others. This leads to stunted growth, reduced efficiency, and potential failure. But here's the truth. While you founded the organization, no one owns it. That's why you and your board members are called trustees. You hold the organization in trust for your community and for the government. As a matter of fact, the founder and the board members are co-equal trustees. You each have one vote. The board is an independent body holding both the founder and the organization accountable. This leads us to the central challenge every founder must face: the founder's paradox. The very passion, vision, and relentless drive that allowed you to create something from nothing are the same forces you must now learn to channel and control to allow the organization to grow beyond you. The rest of this chapter is about how to resolve that paradox by shifting from doing to leading. The foundation of service: your role as trustee. With this understanding, let's talk about your role. The first and foremost role of every person on the board is that of a trustee. Again, you and your board members do not own the organization. You are all trustees charged with the mandate of fulfilling the mission of the organization within legal and ethical guidelines. As trustees, every board member, including you, is bound by 3 legal duties. 1. The duty of care. This means you must act with the same prudence and good faith that a reasonable person would in a similar situation. In simple terms, it means you can't be a passive rubber stamp. You are obligated to be informed, ask questions, and participate actively in governance. 2. The duty of loyalty. This duty requires you and your board members to put the organization's interest above your own personal or professional interests at all times. This is about avoiding conflicts of interest, both real and perceived. Your decision making must be driven by what is best for the mission, not what is best for you, your family, or your business. 3. The duty of obedience. This means you must ensure the organization remains faithful to its central mission. It also means ensuring the organization complies with all applicable laws and regulations. Your job is to protect the organization from mission creep, including chasing funds or opportunities that, while tempting, pull the organization away from its core purpose. The 6 core rules, a connected system from founder to community. Flowing from your legal status as a trustee are the 6 operational roles you and your board must play together. As you read through these 6 rules, I encourage you to have a notebook ready. After each description, pause and complete the first step before moving on. This will turn passive reading into active learning. For each of the following rules, you will see how your actions towards your board directly mirror the board's action towards the community. 1. The facilitator. The number 1 role as a founder is that of a facilitator. Your job is to facilitate the process of bringing about the changes the community desires, not the changes you desire. This is true for how you interact with your board and how your board must interact with the community. When founders plan in isolation and try to force their plans on the board, they are usually met with uninterested acceptance or outright resistance. Why? Because people only commit to plans they were a part of building. This is the principle behind people winning the lottery and going broke. Because they were never a part of building the wealth, they are never committed to maintaining it. In the same way, your role is to facilitate the discussion within your board. Your board's role is to then facilitate conversation with the community. They must reach out and get the community to share the challenges and solutions they think are best. Nobody understands where the shoe pinches better than the one who wears the shoe. It is only by doing this that the community can band around those ideas and go all out to see them accomplished. Your first step: ensure your next board meeting agenda has more questions than statements. 2. The architect. After listening, it is time to build the blueprint. Just as it is the founder's responsibility to aggregate the ideas, opinions, and feedback of the board and develop a structured plan to submit back to them, the board is expected to get the ideas, opinions, and feedback of the community and develop that into a structured plan and process. This is the role of an architect. If a person wants to build a house, they share their ideas with an architect. The architect then draws a wonderful house plan that can be built based on those ideas. The architect does not go his own way and draw up a plan he hopes to force on the owner. Instead, being a professional, the architect might make adjustments based on best practices. This is the exact role you play for your board and the role your board must play for the community you serve. Your first step: start your next strategic discussion with a blank whiteboard, not a pre-filled slide deck. 3. The mobilizer. Most founders and boards think they are the ones who must do the work. This is a trap that gets them bogged down in the small things, losing sight of the big picture. Let's think for a moment. Have you ever seen an architect, after drawing a plan, dress for the site to start mixing cement and laying blocks? If they did, they wouldn't have the time to provide the oversight needed to ensure the work is done according to plan. But sadly, this is the role most founders and board members take. You may be asking, if we do not do the work, who will? This is where you must become a mobilizer. Just as your responsibility is to mobilize your board, their skills, network, and wisdom, your board's responsibility is to mobilize the community. They must mobilize the people and the resources, funding, materials, tools needed to bring the solution to life. The community must own the results. You don't help people by doing the work for them. You help them by empowering them to do the work themselves. That's how you build an empowered community, not a dependent one. Your first step: identify one task on your to-do list that is strategic and delegate it to a board member or committee this week. 4. The evaluator. Anything that's not measured cannot be improved. To ensure results are being created, there must be a system of evaluation. While the board evaluates you, the founder, and you evaluate the board, your collective role as a leadership team is to continuously evaluate the work being done in the community. You must ask, are results being achieved? Are we getting closer to the goal? Are we heading in the right direction, or we're just getting sidetracked? This keeps everyone accountable and focused on impact. Your first step: add a progress towards goals section to the top of every board meeting agenda. 5. The reporter. Your role as a founder within your board is to report results, recognize their contributions, reward performance, and celebrate success as a board. In turn, your board's role is to report those same results out to the community. They must recognize community champions, reward performance, and celebrate success as a whole community while also addressing any concerns. This requires a cautious approach to leadership and is very important in keeping your board and the community motivated and fired up to keep going. Your first step: start your next board meeting by celebrating one specific win from the past month, no matter how small. 6. The entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, your role and that of your board is to dream big, think innovatively, and scale the solution. You must think of ways to provide solutions that require less effort and fewer resources to create monumental changes. When an entrepreneur sees a challenge, they think of how to overcome it. They think of creative ways to raise money and make money for their mission. You must bring this mindset to your board, and your board must champion this mindset in its oversight of the organization, ensuring you're always looking for ways to scale your impact. Your first step: ask your board one "what if" question at your next board meeting. For example, what if we could double our impact with half the budget? What you and your board are not. Now that you understand your roles, let's emphasize what you and your board are not to drive the message home. You and your board do not own the organization. You are all trustees charged with the mandate of fulfilling the mission within legal and ethical guidelines. Your board members are not your volunteers or employees. They are your co-architects. Their purpose is not to manage your social media, design flyers, or handle your everyday operational tasks. This will lead to burnout and frustration. Their role is high level, co-designing the organization with you and providing supervisory capacity. Your board is not your fundraising team. It is not their job to meet the fundraising targets you set for them. It is their job to work with you to build the organization's fundraising systems, to open the doors in their network, and to personally invest in the mission. Now say this with me: my job and that of my board is not to do the work, but to create the roadmap and build the team that does the work.